just follow us today and then see what we do, and then if you don't understand, we will talk after the class, okay? Well, like the pattern of the class. But other than that, any questions come in the middle, come forward and ask that, okay? Right, so we will start. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamshacharunamardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Om. Please do the other one first, right? Which one is that? Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mahavir Dvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Good. So we do these 5 prayers in the beginning of the class. I will send your mom or you guys this thing. You can write it down in English and have it with you so you can sing with us, right? Good. So a lot of guys don't know you, so you want to introduce yourself before we start the class?
I'm Dwisha. I'm going to 9th grade this year, and that's about it.
That's about it. Okay, you want to go next?
Yeah, well, you're going to 9th?
Oh,
Yeah.
You did not know.
My name's Ishan. I'm Dwisha's sister. I mean, and I'm in 4th grade.
Okay, good deal. And how old are you, Ishan?
I'm 9.
You are 9. Yeah, so you are 9, and you know what? Who was our youngest member of the team? No, it was Daksh. Yeah, he was 6-year-old and he's the youngest one. But the oldest one are 9th grader here. Like who are going in the 9th grade, right? Nobody older than.
But she's older than me, so technically she's the oldest. I mean.
Yeah, 9. Who are in 8th grader, right? Then no, you are in 9th.
I'm older than her.
Yeah.
I'm 13 days older.
Oh, okay. So those are the older ones. Okay. So good deal. And Reha is attending the class for the first time in live. Usually she is on the Zoom call. She is here for the spring break, so she is here with us today. Good deal. Okay. So what we are studying here is Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and we are on chapter number 2, where just to give you a little idea really quickly, this is a conversation between Arjun and Shri Krishna right in the middle of the battlefield, where they are almost about to have a big fight. It is the big fight between Kauravas and Pandavas. There are 2 brothers, 2 cousins, that they were about to fight for the kingdom, right? Kaurav took the kingdom away from Pandavas, and this fight is about the kingdom. But if we read the whole entire Mahabharata and Gita, we understand it is fight between right and wrong, right? So Kaurav was the wrong side and Pandavas were the right side. And who is God supposed to be with? The right side. So God is the charioteer of the right side, right? He is actually the driver who is driving the chariot from the right side. So that's the whole background of Gita. Now Arjun, who is the hero, he is a little confused right now. Why he is confused? Because in battle what happens? A lot of people are being killed, right? Unnecessary soldiers are being killed. There are many ministers that are being killed without reason, right? This is fight between two cousins, but there are so many people are ready to fight and they're going to be killed. So Arjun is a little confused here. He says, oh my God, what should I do? It is not right to kill people, right? It's not the right thing to go ahead and kill people. So he's confused and he said, I don't want to fight. Right at the end point, right, where everybody is ready to fight, they are standing against each other, and he says, no, I'm not fighting. So Krishna Bhagavan is giving him knowledge, what is right and what is wrong, because his intellect is clouded right now. He couldn't understand what's right and what's wrong. So Krishna Bhagavan is there to, as a friend, as a mentor, as a leader, he is explaining how to look what is right and wrong. And you know, why is it important for us? We are not going for a fight, but it is important for us to understand, just to understand what is right and what is wrong. So that's why we study Gita and we learn Gita, so that we have a knowledge of us and what is right and what is wrong, and that's where we can follow it, right? So right now at this moment we are on chapter 2, where chapter 2 is divided into 4 parts, right? We divided the chapter 2 into 4 parts. Anybody remember? We revised that last week. Okay, part number 1. What was the part number 1? No, that was the second. What was the first part? Arjun as a disciple. Yes. So Arjun, what here in chapter 2, in the beginning of chapter 2, Arjun says, I don't know anything, God. Like before, he was giving all the excuses that I don't want to fight because I don't want to kill anybody. Even if I get the kingdom, who's I'm going to show off this kingdom to, because all my people will die. So I don't want to do this fight because there is nothing that I will gain out of this fight, right? So he was keep giving all these, excuses about not fighting. So Krishna Bhagavan now, so in beginning of chapter 2, which is slok 1 to 10, Arjun again says that, oh no, I don't want to fight. But then Arjun realized that, probably Krishna is not listening to me. So he has something else to tell me. That's why he's not saying, oh, you are right, yeah, don't fight, let's go home. He's not saying that. So there is something wrong. It might be me who is wrong. So now in slok number 7 of chapter 2, Arjun says, okay, forget about all these excuses that I gave you, but now please guide me. I have my intellect is clouded. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what is right and wrong. God, come on, tell me what I can. But it was not God. He's saying, oh, my friend, tell me what should I do. He doesn't know Krishna Bhagavan is a God. He always see him as a friend, as a mentor, as a brother kind of thing. So he says, brother, I don't know what to do now, you tell me. So he surrenders. So when we say Arjun as a disciple, means he's surrendering himself to Krishna Bhagavan and saying, hey Krishna Bhagavan, tell me what's right and wrong, right? So we did that. Then what was the second? Except Sunday, anybody can answer. What is the second? What are we, right? So now what we were studying so far from slok number 11th to 20, where are we, Reha? 28th, right? Yeah, 29th we're going to do today. So 11th to 28th we already studied and explained about it. So that one, the whole, these many sloks are, what are we? Like, what are we really? Are we this body, mind, intellect, this body, this human being? Are we that, or there is something behind this, right? How is this whole life works? So Krishna Bhagavan simply explain in these 20 sloks what are we. So we're gonna really quickly talk about it. And Neil and Varshini, can you hear me properly, Raja? Okay. And Alia and Karno, you good? Okay, awesome. So, he says, what are we? So he narrows us down to that we are not this body, we are not this mind, we are not the intellect. There is more than that. And what does he bring in? He bring in rebirth, but what are we? Like, what did he explain? We are the soul, the consciousness. That's what we are, right? So then he talks about our soul, and we also name it Atma. Atman, how about I put Atman? In Hindi we said Atma. So soul, Atman, consciousness, there are many names to it, right? So that's what Bhagwan explained, that we are not this body, we are not this mind, intellect, we are Atman. Now, he gives from slok number 13 to 12, 13, 14, 15 till 21st, he talks about characteristics of Atma. What is Atma? Like, what is this soul that we are talking about? So he explains really well all the characteristics. Okay, let's revise this one more really quickly. Can anybody goes with what is Atma? What is the characteristics of Atma? Does it, yeah. Unchanging. It doesn't change. Like how body goes through changes, it goes from child body to adult body to, old person body, then it dies. Atma doesn't change. It stays the same all through our life, right? So that's unchangeable. What else? Yes, and eternal, never dying. It's keep going, right? It never ends. It doesn't die with the death of the body. It stays there, right? So it continues go. What does it do after the death of this body? Goes to the next body, right? It doesn't die. It continues going on. Yes, Swara?
What is the second one?
Eternal.
How do you spell it?
Eterna. Okay, yes.
For the internal parts, like when you go to a new body, does it always have to be a human body, or could it be like an animal?
Could be anything. That's where the rebirth and karma comes. Like we will talk about karma a little bit today, right? So then the Atma is eternal. It doesn't die. It stays forever, right? What else? Yes, Sean?
It's not the doer nor the enjoyer.
Yes. So all the action, not the doer, not the enjoyer or sufferer of the action, of the result of the actions. So Atma doesn't do anything, right? It's not doer the action. Like I'm sitting here and listening to you, that's not Atma doing it. It's what is it doing? The body and mind and intellect is doing that, right? Neither it is enjoyer or sufferer. We say, oh, I suffer. We never say I enjoy, I suffer more, right? They are not the experiencer of the result of every action you do. Like I do good action, they don't enjoy that. It's my body that enjoys, right? Atma doesn't get involved in it. Atma is like a fuel in the car, right? Does the fuel make the decision where you need to go? Does the fuel make a decision to how fast or how good you're going to drive or how bad you're going to drive? The fuel doesn't do the decision, right? So fuel is like Atma in our body. So he doesn't make any decision. He's not the doer, right? If you wreck a car, does we have to blame the fuel? No. If you do a smooth ride, does fuel is to be appreciated? No, right? So Atma doesn't do. So our self, the real self that we are talking about is not the doer, not the enjoyer of the result of your actions, right? So Atma doesn't do that. What else is Atma? Yes? Real. Atma is the only thing that is real. Now look at this thing. If a person loses his Atma, means what happens? Die, right? The body dies, right? The body dies and the Atma is left, or the consciousness goes to the next body. So, when you don't have Atma, do you experience the world around you? The body experiences the world around you? No. Do they know that, okay, this is the world that is going on? When the soul leaves, then what happens to your body? All the surrounding experience goes away, right? So your experience is dependent on what? Your soul, right? So soul is real, your body is not real, because all the experiences that your body get is dependent on, so it's dependent reality, right? So body is dependent reality on something else. It doesn't have an independent reality, right? So that means that soul is the one is the real. All the other is not real. It's dependent reality. It's not independent reality, right? Real thing is only that doesn't need anything to work on, right? Soul doesn't need anything to work on, right? So that's real. All the other things is not real, right? Or are dependent on the reality, which is your consciousness and soul. Yes, Anne?
So are they fake?
So when we talk about mithya, have you heard that word mithya in Hindi? Okay. It is, we talk about it's dependent. It's not, we don't say it's not real, but it's dependent on the reality. So if you take that reality part out of it, then there is nothing. Right? So you have, so everything is dependent on your soul. And your real self is the soul. When we start thinking that that's my real self, what happens then? You don't feel like this body and mind and intellect is the only one that I need to work on, right? If I go to my real self and I work on my Atma, then all these suffering will go away, right? If I keep thinking that no, this is me, this is my body, this is my mind, this is my intellect, then I will just die with this body and born with this body, right? But if I don't stick to that, then my Atma is never dying, right? It's going to keep moving to the next one. Now, so Bhagavan got to this point where he explains what Atma is, right? But now what happened is Arjun is like us, one of us, right? When we don't understand this thing, can we live with this thought every day? Right? No, we cannot, because I have a name, right? I have this body that I need to work on, right? I have to make food, I have to go and work, I have to do everything, right? So I have to use this tool that God gave me to work with, right? So I have to think about this body too. So Arjun was very confused because he did not hear these things before. So now what happened is God, as a teacher, understood that Arjun is not understanding this high level of talk about soul and Atma and everything. So he said, okay, let me bring it a little bit down and explain him with a layman language. So he is trying to now, in next slokas, he is trying to bring it down a little bit. So last week we talked about a very good slok that was slok number 27th and 28th. That's what we did last week, right? So on 27th, if you look at it, he brought a big concept of saying that one who is born, the death is certain. So anything that's born, the death will come, no matter what. Even if it is human being, it is a living animal, anything that's come in existence will go out of existence also. It will be always like that, right? But then on the second sentence, he says that the whom the death comes, birth is certain again. So whoever dies, the next life is also there, right? So he brought two concepts into that slok on 27th, which is, what is the two concepts?
Karma and rebirth.
What is it?
Karma and rebirth.
Yeah, so first thing he talks about that there is a rebirth. Because he said, when you die, everything that dies has to born again. The birth is certain, right? He is so confident that he's saying that when you are born, you will die. That's fundamental fact. Nobody can change it. No religion can say, oh no, you will live forever, right? This body is going to die. So now Krishna Bhagavan is not talking at the higher level of soul. Now Krishna Bhagavan brought it to the lower level of your body, because as soon as we are born, we start feeling like this body is me, right? So we only have this thing in our mind that I am this body, right? That's how we are born and that's how we live our life. We never think that, oh no, I'm not this body, I'm this soul. That doesn't come in our mind, right? So Krishna Bhagavan brought it a little down and say, okay, let's say you are the body, right? You are not the soul, you are this body, but everything that is born has a death certain, and everything that die will have a birth again. That is also certain, right? So he brought rebirth, and then with rebirth, he talks about karma. Right? So he brought two subjects. Now, if we have rebirth, what is the base of rebirth? It based on karma, right? So he brought it both together, saying there is a rebirth and there is a karma, right? So, I told you that what Vivekananda said, saints die and sinners die, right? Paupers die and emperors die, right? The people who are learned die, equally the ignorant die. Nobody escaped the law of karma, right? So nobody in the world, even a little insect, like a tiny insect, cannot escape the law of karma. So law of karma, nobody in this world can escape. So that has to happen, right? So what is law of karma? That's, yes.
If you do bad things in the next life, the bad things will impact how your life will go?
Yes, it depends on every day. Like what I'm doing today, what I'm doing an hour after, everything is being registered, right? And everything will give us result. Every action has a consequences. Have you heard that part? Right? Every action has a consequence. If you don't get the consequences right now, it's gonna come. Sometime it's gonna come, right? If you do good, good will come, right? If you do bad, bad will come, right? And none can escape the law of karma in this entire universe, right? That's what is given. So let's talk about, you had a lot of questions, yes, last time. You remember we left this topic in the middle and everybody has so many questions about karma. So I want to explain a little bit about karma so you guys can get a little bit foundation on it, right? So when we talk about karma now, you will say, okay, Sonal Aunty, do you have a scientific background behind it? I would say no, I don't know about scientific background on karma and everything. But this is how our ancient Vedas talk about it, right? So people who from ages to ages are talking about this is how it's been taken place, right? So I don't know if it is right or not, but I do believe as a Hindu religion, we always have the karma thing, right? Because when we read Gita, and when God says that there is a rebirth, we have to believe that there is a rebirth, right? We do see that death is certain, right? Nobody can skip that. So God is saying death is certain, but rebirth is certain too. So then we say, yeah, rebirth is there too, right? So that's how we have a faith and confidence in God's learn and teaching. So we said, okay, yeah, this is what's going to happen. Right? So karma, let's talk about karma, how it works. And I'm just teaching about how Ved talks about karma, right? How our ancient scriptures talk about karma. So the karma is divided into three kinds of karma, right? If we talk about we have many lives, right? As we are dying and getting the birth again, dying and getting the birth again. So it keeps going on, right? So then in this dying and born again, every life we have at the point of, like, let's say this is the life going, at the end of the life, we accumulate karma. Those are known as sanchit karma. That means the accumulated karma for that life, right? Now we have many lives, right? So we accumulated many karmas from many different lives. Yeah, Raja.
I cannot see the board.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Turn it around. Krishna, put it here. Now you can see it, Raja?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So, sanchit karma is there, right? Every time we do good, bad, it is mixed. Like some life we did really good, some we did bad. So everything is in there in sanchit karma, accumulated karma, right? Then there is the next karma is prarabdha karma, right? So sanchit karma, prarabdha So that's second. So what happened is, out of these sanchit karma, and who picks it, I don't know, but it says that certain kind of karmas are being picked out of this. So let's say if there is that many balloon, and one balloon is picked and thrown. So that thrown balloon has our prarabdha karma for the new life. So I pick this one, and that gives me a new life. Let me make another. So this is my new life. So I took this and make this as a prarabdha karma. So this is my new life. Now this part of, so this is a slice of sanchit karma, right? One slice of sanchit karma was thrown to me and given me a new life. This become prarabdha karma for this life. So as soon as this has everything in it, what I'm gonna do, who are my parents will be, which home I'm gonna be born, when, how much long life I'm gonna get, what will be my lifespan, how intellectually I will be, everything is given in this, right? So now this is prarabdha karma that gives me the whole next life, right? Now in this life also I will do karma, right? It's not going to be ending. So when I keep doing karma, that is known as agami karma. Agami karma, right? So I keep doing agami karma. At the end of the life, agami karma change into sanchit karma, right? So agami karma, all the karma that I did in new life, it changed into again sanchit karma. Then I have a pile of sanchit karma. Then again one slice of sanchit karma is taken and thrown. That become my next life. Yes.
So the karma that you had gotten just now, like for your new life, and then the karma you build, would that be mixed in, or would it become separate again?
It could be. Like if it is so intense, you did really, really bad with something, it could give you a result in this life itself, right? Or it could give a result in next life. So it could depend on the intensity of how goodness you did or how bad you did. If you did a really, really, really good thing, Bhagwan will say, okay, he's capturing everything in there. So you can get the result in the consequences could be in this life and in next life, right? So sometimes I say, oh, this guy is doing so bad, but still he's having so much good, his life is so good, it doesn't impact him at all, he's doing so much bad. But what's happening is probably he has a lot of prarabdha karma that were so good that he is doing it, but whatever he's doing wrong here will give him result. Consequences will be there, it's right there, but it's only depending on the intensity of the good and bad work you do, right? So that's why it always say that how much every decision that we take is so important, because it's going to impact somewhere. It's never going to be that the time it's going to pass out and you will not get the result. If you do good, you will get result good. So it says good action gives you merit, right? It leads to merit and it leads to happiness. That's how the system works. So good leads to merit, means punya. Jo we talk punya in Hindi, we say give happiness. And bad karma, demoral action, demerit, suffering. So that's how the karma works, right? Now, moral is also dharma in Hindi. So dharma leads to punya, punya leads to sukh. In Hindi, if we talk about it, then demoral means bad karma, like demoral or what? Adharma in Hindi. Demerit means papa, and then it goes to dukkha, right? So that's how all the dharma goes. Now, what else? So, when we talk about moksha, right? Last week we talked about moksha too. Moksha is coming out of the cycle of life and death, right? So, God says every life will have death and every death will have a life again, right? That was the meaning of the shlok that we studied last week. But what happened here is, what happened when I'm going to get out of this cycle of life and death? Will I keep going, because every life I'm going to go through the same thing again? Like how bored we get when we go to school and do the same exact thing again, right? So we keep doing this thing again and again, like going through the lifespan, dying, going through again next life, and doing the same thing. So what happens is we feel like, okay, I need to get out of this life and birth cycle. What should I do? And that's where we start doing spirituality. Because what we want to do is we want to come out of the life and death cycle all the time. Well, that's where you get moksha or enlightenment, right? So when we talk about enlightenment, now you would say that a person who is going through this karma, how can they get out of this? Because they will do actions, right? They will have sanchit karma, they will have prarabdha karma for this life, and every moment they are doing agami karma, right? So there will be a karma, and these are the result of next life. So if I want to come out of this cycle of life and death, should I stop doing agni karma? Just sit and not do anything, not move any place? Is that what the enlightenment means? It doesn't, right? You still have to do karma, right? Karma will not go. Even if you don't live your worldly life, you still have to eat. You still have to walk. You still have to, change your clothes. So it's going to be always there. You have to do some kind of action, right? So what happened with enlightened people? So when they get to that spiritual level, that they become enlightened, their sanchit karma vanishes out. They are destroyed, right? So there is no sanchit karma remaining. So whatever that was life after life they had it, that all get destroyed. So sanchit karma is destroyed. Now what about prarabdha karma? They got this life. So think about this. A bowman has a lot of bows in his quiver, right? There were all sanchit karmas, right? Every bow represents one kind of sanchit karma. Now they pick the bow and shoot the bow. So the bowman has a capacity of, let's say he decide, I don't want to shoot any more bows, right? I'm done with shooting this, I don't want to do anymore. So he can, whatever was on his bow, he can put it back, right? He will not shoot it. I don't want to shoot anymore, I'm not going to shoot any. So whatever was on his bow, he take it back, right? Whatever was in quiver, he can destroy it, right? He doesn't want anymore. But the thing that was already being shoot out, it's going to stay, right? Mm-hmm. So which karma will stay out of three? Prarabdha karma, because prarabdha karma is already been shoot out, right? It's already, he got the life, right? So he already got the life, so prarabdha karma will always be there, right? Now what happened is, if prarabdha karma is there, he's going to live that life, right? He's going to finish the prarabdha karma life, whatever he got, and then whenever the lifespan is, whenever the death comes, he will die, and then he will not come back, because there is no more sanchit karma remaining. So he will be released from birth and death cycle, right? Now, if sometimes people say, oh, all karma is decided, but all karmas are destroyed, but they cannot destroy prarabdha, because if they destroy prarabdha karma, means all karma destroyed through the person who is enlightened, what should happen? They should die right away, right? Enlightenment happen, now you die. Like, right? Every person that is enlightened right away die. Then who's going to teach us all these things, right? So there are so many teachers out there. So it feels like there are enlightened people out there who lives their life, who finishes their life. So means prarabdha karma are there, right? So it continue going on. So this and this goes away, but this still stays, right? Does that give you an idea about the karma and how the life and death goes on, right? Any question on this topic? No? You got it? Any questions here, guys? Karnu, you got it?
Wait,
Yes.
but why would you want to escape the cycle of life and death? Wouldn't you want to help like more people?
Yes,
when
you
give
can.
Birth?
Right. But when you are enlightened, what happens is you can take the birth according to your wish and you can help since the beginning of your life, right? So you can keep improving life, do a lot of good things. Then next life you will do more good things. Then next life you do more good things. So you continue doing that, right? All your lives and lives. That's really good thought. That's why some enlightened people keep coming back. They don't want to leave because they are like, no, the world is suffering, they need me, so I'm going to keep coming back. So very good question on that. Yes, you got that? Okay. So you got that, and okay. So it has been said that there are 14 lokas. Like, we say, oh, we want to go in Swarg. If we say enlightened person, like, okay, I want to do good karma so that I can go to heaven, right? That's how most of the religion talk about, right? Good karma. So just to give you a knowledge, in our Vedas it says there are 14 swargs, so 14 loks. So earth comes in the middle. There are 6 on top, 6, 7 on bottom. That many lokas are there, and the top one is the Satyaloka, which is Brahmaloka, where you go, then you don't return. But all the other 5 lokas in the middle from the earth, you keep going. If you do bad in that, you come down, one step down, one step down, one step down. If you keep doing good, you keep going up. And in Patal Loka and all these 7 loka down the earth are more, we talk about hell, because they are, it's too much torture there and too much dukkha there, suffering there. So if you do really bad, you keep going on the next. On the earth, if you do really, really bad, you go in a lower lives, which is animal life or which is insects life. So in this, when we get human life, that's a big deal because we got the most prestigious life. We can do so much, right? But if you don't utilize your human life to a good purpose, then you come down to say, okay, now you can, I sent you in a human life, you could have done so much, but you didn't do anything. So what God says, okay, you are not worth getting human life. Let me drop you to a lion or a horse life or a kangaroo life or a bird life, and then you are restricted to certain things. So your spirituality growth doesn't happen in any other form except human. And if you don't utilize the human form for your spirituality development, then none other life can be useful, right? Yes.
How, as like an animal, how can you get good karma? Like, how does that work so that you can go back to being a
Human, right? So yeah, in animal, I'm sure there is a lot of good and bad techniques happen between themselves, which probably veterinarian can tell you more about it. But they have communication, right? People who have dogs, they understand how dogs, love them and sacrifice so much, right? Isn't it? Like, we can understand their emotions too. I'm sure that there is a lot of good and bad they do too. Even in India, in street dogs, they fight, right? We saw street dogs fighting so much. So there are some things, same thing goes in them too. Yes.
So animals, like, they need to survive and need that to survive? Don't they need to fight to survive?
So they have to do that, right? That's a food chain that is automatically made. So if they do it, does it count as a sin? No, right? Because that's their survival trick, right? So that doesn't count as a sin or something, right? So they might, God made the world so amazingly, it technically, if you look at it, it goes so systematically, everything is done, right? If a human was given this task to do it, would you be able to do this? How synchronized the world is being made by God? It's amazing, like the creation that he did here, right? So just to give you an idea how we talk about heaven and hell, those are how our Vedas talks about heaven and hell. Good? Okay. So We in 27th shlok we did that. In 28th we just talk about that we come from unmanifestation, unmanifested world. We are manifested as a human, then we go back in unmanifested world. That's what we talk about in 28th. Like how in the ocean the wave comes, then we say okay, wave, we know this is the wave, and then it merge back into ocean, right? So if we take ocean as a world, then the wave comes, it becomes manifested, it goes back in unmanifested, where there is no wave manifested in anywhere else. It's just water, water, water everywhere, right? Yes.
What is manifested again?
It's like what we can see, touch, feel. That's manifestation. Like we can talk as an object. We can talk about it, right? So as our human life, our body, mind, intellect is an object, right? So we can say, okay, this is Sonal, this is, we can manifest those people. But as soon as I die, my soul comes out, it goes back to unmanifested form, right? So we talk about that. Now we will do stroke number 29. You ready? Okay. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidinam. Ascharyavat vadati te vachanya. Ascharyavat manya shrunoti. Shrutva jnanam vedana chaiva kaschit. Good. Together. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidinam. Ascharyavat vadati te vachanya. Ascharyavat manya shrunoti. Shrutva prayenam vedana chaiva kaschit. Great job, Reena. Okay. You heard about Ascharya in this slok? Anybody know what is the meaning of Ascharya? Yes.
As amazing.
Amazing, right? You're reading from the book?
A wonder. As a wonder.
Wonder. Ascharya is like you're wondering what's going on here, right? So Ascharya means wonder, 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 right? Okay. So this is all about, when we talk about Ascharya, where did I put it out there? Okay. It's a mystery, right? Ascharya means it's mysterious, it's wondering, it's I'm surprised, what is it, right? So Krishna Bhagavan on the first line says, Ascharya, I wonder, the person who sees it wonders. Like the person who sees it. Sees means who is looking at it. That wonders. Like what is this, right? Then the other who speaks about it wonder what it is. Right? Who even speaks about it, they are also wondering what this is, right? So who sees it, who speaks about it. Sees means pashyanti, ascharya pashyanti. The ascharya means wonders, the person who sees. Pashyanti means sees. Daditi, who speaks about it also wonders what this is. Ascharya chanam. The person who heard about it also thinks what a wonder this is, what a mystery this is, right? And then the person who heard does not even know what it is at all. So what does that mean? What is he talking about? So first thing that he understood, that Arjun is not getting it. Arjun is also surprised. What is he talking about? What is this? What is this wonder? So to just give a console to Arjun, Krishna Bhagavan says this shlok saying that the person who even sees this thing is still wonders it. You are nothing. Don't feel bad that why are you in so much surprise and so much wonder what I'm talking about. Because the person who sees it, it's a wonder to them. the person who speaks about it is wonder to them also. The person who hears about it, it's also wonder to them. So they don't know at all. Now, this is a superficial meaning of the shloka. But always we go a little bit deeper, right? So there is a deeper meaning to this shloka too. The person who sees about it, they are talking about the students. The students who are reading this, who are going to Vedant classes, like you guys are coming to Gita classes, right? There are many people who go and study and want to take the spiritual path or learn about spirituality. So they're talking about this student. So he's saying these rare students, the students that sees, are wonder, are ashcharya, or they think this is mystery. Now student, when they talk about student who go to these classes, who are talking about soul and consciousness and real self and all these big topics, right? We are talking about those students. So the student, Ved gives a specific characteristics of these students who goes in that. Krishna Bhagavan says those rare who sees it. Rare means those rare who are the student of this subject. They are also wonder what this is. They don't know what this is, but they also wonder. So students, Ved gives little bit characteristics of students. If you go into this class, there should be some characteristics you should have before you go to a Gita class. Now, would you like to know those characteristics? Let's check it out if we have it or not, right? So we all are learning Gita. Do we have those characteristics of a student that we can see this, what he's talking about, like, soul as our real self, right? So when we talk about it, but this is the student cutoff is very high when you go to this class, right? It's like a Ivy League class, right? So you have to be a really cream student to get into those Ivy League classes, courses, or colleges. It's like that. You need a high what scores? SAT scores to get into these Ivy Leagues, right? Parthi is like, oh no, don't remind me for those SAT classes.
I just had a prep class today for the SAT.
I know, how did it go?
It went terrible. I'm
True.
confused.
I know.
Katie,
I know. That's what Parthi is like, oh, I don't want to talk about SAT classes, right? So these students have to pass these SAT with high scores to get into these classes, right? So let's talk about what are the subjects that we need to score high on, right? What is the curriculum of this SAT that we need to score? So they give 4 characteristics that a student should have, right? When you go to understand Gita, you have to have these 4 characteristics. The first one is, that is right, kind of. Vivek. Vivek is the Hindi word, but I will tell you what it means in English. Vivek is the person who can discriminate or make a difference between what is real and what is unreal. So this is a simple definition of it. But if you look into it, what is real and what is unreal? What is real? Atma is real. What is unreal? Everything else is unreal, right? So the person who can make a differentiation between real and unreal is Vivek. So a student should have this understanding of what is real and what is real. So if I tell you, is this body real? No. Is this intellect that you have is real? No. Is this mind that you have that has all these feelings and emotions, is that real? No. What is real? Our consciousness, right? Our soul that goes from body to body, but it doesn't die, or it doesn't get birth. So the student that can understand, one thing I want to make it clear, we always talk about this consciousness and soul and everything, but do we have to live in this world? Yes. Right? We have to live with the tool that God has given us, right? What tool God has given us? The body, mind, and intellect. We have to utilize that, right? So it's not going to go away. But we need to, wherever we have to make a decision between, hey, do I need to concentrate on like how my soul is like not getting grieved on, oh my body is suffering so much, so I give pleasure to my body, or I give pleasure to my body by doing this, rather than like I want to watch this movie, this is so good movie, and my eyes get pleasure by watching this good movie, right? But I have a test tomorrow which is very, very important, right? That I will, I can help people when I pass this test. I might go to some good job, and I will do a good job and earn so much money that I can help other people. So when that thing comes up, what would you decide? Would you decide on the pleasure, or would you decide on what you have to do to help other people when you grow up? Right? So that's the vivek we are talking about. I'm not talking about you to think about soul all the time, but I'm talking about what is real and what is unreal. You need to make a differentiation between that, right? So that's the first thing that student can do. The second is vairagya. This is also again a Hindi word. We're going to translate into, vairagya. Vairagya. Krishu, I learned this word, so it is the right. I might have not.
You write it wrong.
It is Vairagya, vairagya. Right? So vairagya means dispassion. This dispassion on temporary. Whatever is temporary in your life, you should have a dispassion towards. I cannot say both words together. I'm sliding the S so bad. Somebody says that word. Dispassion. Yeah, you got it. Dispassion, right?
This
Passion. Yeah, not having passion, right? So for the temporary. Now we talk about temporary means. What is temporary? Everything other than the real, right? Other than the real, everything is temporary, right? So dispassion towards it. That's vairagya.
Okay, thank you.
Vairagya.
What is Vivek?
Vivek is discrimination between real and unreal,
Oh, and then
or differentiation between real and unreal. Right? Then vairagya, dispassion and passion for eternal, what is real, passion for that, and dispassion for non-eternal stuff, temporary stuff, right? So that's vairagya. Now they trick us on characteristic number 3.
How was the cheat sheet?
Yeah. So they cheated us because they gave 6 discipline on number 3. They could have made all 9. Rather than they gave 4 characteristics, but third one they divided into 6 disciplines.
6 treasures.
Hmm?
You just told me to write 6 treasures.
Yeah, but this is 6 disciplines, right? So I will quickly tell you. I know we're gonna run out of the time to tell all of them, but I will just quickly tell you the name of the 6 discipline, right? The first one is Shama. Shama means forgiveness. Let me write it in English. That's a Hindi word.
K. No, it's KS.
It's a Shama.
You made me write it.
I know I made you.
Shama is forgiveness.
Forgiveness, but forgiveness comes from eternal peace.
No, yeah. It's discipline, I think.
Yeah.
6 disciplines.
6 disciplines.
and showing your forgiveness, right?
Shama is forgiveness. Yeah.
Forgive. So the student who is studying, what?
It's discipline.
Yeah.
P-L-I-N-E.
तुम लोग कर दो ना इसको पूरा यार. You are smart enough to do this. D-I. What is the spelling? Tell me, Jaldi.
D-I-S-C-I-P-S.
C-I.
Yeah.
There you go. Is that right now? Okay. Okay. So, Shama, forgiveness, right? So forgiveness, it's not about only this class, only to study Gita. Take these 4 characteristics in your any subject that you want to study. or anything that you want in the goal in your life, and you will find it match anywhere that you go to, right? So make sure that don't just keep this restricted to this class, okay? Apply to all the other field in your life, because it's going to be very useful to all the other field in your life. So the Shama comes with internal peaceness, the quietness that you have inside, because you cannot forgive anybody until you are meeting peace in yourself. Like if you don't have peace, internal peace, you will not forgive anybody, right? So it is connected to internal peace. Then comes Dhamma. Krishu, I'm actually getting these spellings from online. So if I give you wrong spellings, don't get mad at me. So then second is Dhamma, that is control of senses. What?
I think Dhruv and Darshan were in the waiting room the whole time.
Oh my God. Did you enter them in?
We were in the way. We just joined.
Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. God, I will send you the video. I'm so sorry. I didn't even, this thing is in front of me. I didn't even see that you were in the waiting. I thought you didn't even come. I am so sorry. You should have messaged me, okay? Whenever this thing happened, just call me or send me a text message.
Okay.
I am so sorry. I cannot see you guys, but okay.
That happened to me last Sunday. I was going to do it, but then a few minutes later, when you guys were about to, halfway, I was locked up in the waiting room and I could not come back in.
When I start the class, I don't even see this, and I keep going, and I don't even know if you guys are not there. Okay, let me finish this. So how about we keep this 6 discipline for next time? You guys are started getting a little bit overwhelmed, but Dhamma is control of senses. So how about we keep it to this, and then we will continue next week. You good? Okay, hold on. Let me. Any questions, guys? You guys are good? You got it? Okay, so let's finish it. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kaushacharuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah.